Hi, year four. Welcome to your first social studies lesson of the week. Um, I hope you've had a successful week so far. I hope you're all keeping well. This week we will continue learning about the Romans and about Roman Britain. And today's topic is Hadrian's Wall. So let me minimize my video. There we go. Today's topic is Hadrian's Wall. So we are going to learn about something a little different than what we were talking about last time in our lesson. There we go. So, what's the learning objective? Describe who Emperor Hadrian was, say when, how, and why he built a wall, and explain the features of the wall. So we are going to learn about Emperor Hadrian, about the wall he built, and we are going to be able to explain how this wall looked and what kind of features it had. All right. Now I am going to read through the slides with a little bit extra instruction so you understand it. Right, the Picts. Scotland. So in this slide, or on this slide, you can see a map of Scotland. So we know that Romans were occupying Britain, and this is basically a part of Britain. Scotland is one of the countries in Britain, and it's the part on top. Right, the Picts. Scotland was known as Caledonia during the Roman era, and many Caledonian tribes fought battles against the Romans who tried to take their land. In year AD 84, the different tribes all banded together to form a group that the Romans called the Picts, after the Romans defeated them in a big battle. However, the Romans did not go on to take Scotland, as the Roman army was called back home to deal with other issues. This meant that Scotland never became a part of the Roman Empire. According to the Romans, the Picts, or the Scottish tribes, were a feisty, formidable force who kept raiding their territory in Britain. The Romans wanted a way to separate their land from the Picts. So what do we know from this slide? From this slide, we know that Romans called the Scottish tribe Picts. They fought with them, and the Romans indeed won these battles with the Picts. However, they never really occupied their land, so Scotland was separate from the rest of Roman Britain. And the Picts were feisty, which means they were very courageous and very strongly willed, and formidable. That means they were a very kind of scary force. They were really good fighters, and people were afraid of them. And the Picts kept fighting the Romans. So the Romans really wanted to separate their land from the Picts and the rest of Scotland. Hadrian's Wall. So the solution for dealing with frequent attacks from the Picts came in the form of a great wall. The Roman Emperor Hadrian is best known for building this wall across northern Britain, which helped the Romans defend their occupied land. The wall also meant that the Romans could control who was entering and leaving Roman territory and charge taxes to those who wanted to come in. So basically, Hadrian, who was the Roman emperor at that time, decided to build a wall in the north of England, or Roman Britain at that time, just to separate it from the rest of Scotland. Okay, this way they could control who was coming in and out. They would ask people to pay taxes if they wanted to come in, and so on. Right, so the wall was built by 3 Roman legions, 15,000 men. That's a lot, right? Using mostly stone. It was 117.5 kilometers long. So if you want to imagine how long was that, that's the area between, that's how long the road is between Abu Dhabi and Dubai, okay? Approximately. So imagine it was that long. That means extremely long. So it was 117 kilometers long, and at that time Romans had their own like a measurement system, and they called it Roman miles. So 117 kilometers was 80 Roman miles. All right, it was up to 6 meters high. So imagine I am nearly 2 meters high. Okay, so imagine three Miss Christinas standing on top of each other, and this is how high it was. So it was quite high, and it was 3 meters wide. Okay, 3 meters, that's Miss Christina and a half. Okay, all right. Anyway, um, this meant that two Roman soldiers could perform sentry duty side by side. Okay, so basically, the Roman soldiers had a duty to, watch over the other side of the wall, make sure the Picts were not attacking, and because it was 3 meters wide, the two soldiers could perform their duty at the same time. All right, so now we have an activity for you, okay? So the wall ran from Bowness-on-Solway on the west coast to Wallsend on the east coast. It passed through Carlisle, Gilsland, Cholerford, and Corbridge, among many other places. So now you will, on the next slide, it has the worksheet. If you want to print it out, that would be for the best. I'm not sure what to do in case you don't have a printer. Let me take a look at the questions. Yeah, so you can skip task number 3 if you don't have it printed, basically. Anyway, task number 1, using Google Maps, find some of these places on your map. Very well. What I have to do is look at these places, and I'm going to put them in my in the Google Maps and take a look. So the first one is Bowness on Solway. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to go onto Google Maps, right? We have Google Maps open here. Bowness on Solway, UK. There we go. Now you have a really big picture. So what do you have to do actually? You have to zoom out until you see the map of Britain, so it's easy for you to kind of put it on your map. Right, zoom out until it's kind of like this, okay? So look at your worksheet, make a little dot and write the name of this city. Bowness on Solway. That's what you will write on your worksheet, okay? What is the second one? The second one mentioned is Wallsend, okay? Wallsend, UK. Again, I will zoom out so I can see it a little better on my map. There we go. So I will take my pen and I will mark this city as well, okay? You will need to keep doing this until you find Carlisle, Gilsland, Cholerford, and Corbridge, okay? So just write the names. So just look at these. Let me move my video. Just look these up on Google Maps to have an idea what are the places the actual wall ran through, okay? Right. Now, task number 2, can you find out the names of other places that the wall passed through? So, I would recommend that you, on your blank map, write down all the cities you found, okay? Then go back to the map, okay? And zoom in and see if there are any other places, okay, this map passed through, okay? So the first one was Bowness on Solway. There we go. So that's here. And the second one that we looked at was Wallsend, right? So this is where it is, and the Wallsend. Okay, so between these two cities, okay, so basically the first one was here, Wallsend is there, so and then there's Carlisle. So you need to zoom in and try to figure out if there are any other places the wall ran through, okay? I can see other places. There's Brampton or Holt Whistle, Hayden Bridge, Hexham, okay? Just try to list some other places when you look at the actual Google Maps where it possibly passed from or to, okay? Right, number 3, label your own map to show Hadrian's Wall and some of the places it ran through. Once again, go through the cities, find them in Google Maps, mark them on your map, and draw Hadrian's Wall on your worksheet. Okay? Please, for this activity, you will be using analyzing your analyzing brain. Okay? You will take a couple of steps, step by step, to find out how to solve these tasks. Okay, so in order to complete this task, first of all, I need to go on Google Maps, I need to look up these cities, I need to study the map, and then I will be able to complete all 3 tasks. You used analyzing brain, complex and multi-step problem solving in this activity. Okay, all right, please submit this activity on Class Dojo. All right, let's continue. Right, then the actual PowerPoint takes you through the features of the wall. There was a mile castle containing 20 soldiers every Roman mile. So every 1.5 kilometers, there was this little mile castle. And then there was a turret guarded by soldiers, and that was built every 500 meters. Imagine 500 meters is maybe the distances as if the quad in the school, or the width of the quad in our school. And then we had major forts that were built along the wall every 8 kilometers, as if the distance between our school and Khalifa City A, let's say, okay? All right, these forts could accommodate between 500 to 1,000 Roman soldiers. Can you imagine? That's a lot, okay? All right, so we have a mile castle, turret, and forts. Right. Since thousands of soldiers were stationed along the wall, so basically the Roman emperor sent thousands of soldiers to guard the wall, okay? So there was a real, I mean, there were many soldiers and it was buzzing with life at the wall, okay? So there were things that had to be made in order for them to be able to live their lives. Inside the forts were barracks for the soldiers, which is a larger house for the commander. Commander is someone in charge, and his family. A grain store. You know grains. For example, we make bread from wheat grains. So there was a special store for grain to make flour and other kinds of foods. Toilets, and sometimes a hospital. There would also be a bathhouse just outside the fort so soldiers could keep clean. Over time, villages and communities developed around the forts. These settlements would contain houses, shops, temples, and taverns. They were probably where the soldiers' wives and families lived. Okay. Right, one of the forts was called Housesteads. It had a hospital, granary, this is where they stored all the grains, barracks, workshops, and toilets. Anyway, life at the wall. A Roman road called the Stane Gate was built to supply the soldiers based at Hadrian's Wall. So the Romans built a special road just to send supplies to all the soldiers who were based at the wall. Grain was kept dry in a store by the house of a hypocaust, similar to the system used in Roman baths. Okay. Anyway, so they had the grains, they supplied them with grain so they would have food, and they stored them in special rooms. Right, and here we have an activity. Please read through the comprehension text and answer questions about Hadrian's Wall. That's all you have to do. Guys, no need to upload this on Class Dojo, and answers are provided, but please just try doing this yourself.